Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims.
And this is Captain Black. We are hosts of the Hostages That Fight Back. You're listening to New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhyme.
Welcome back, friends and enemies and everyone in between. The Hostages That Fight Back live on New Orleans Talk Network, live on Twitter, live on Facebook, and of course, live on live stream. Our call-in number is 504-341-8255. I am, as always, Captain Black, the hostage that fights back, superhero for folks feeling like zeros.
And I'm Brother Mims, the other half of the Gruesome Twosome, Mouth of the South, and Truth Be Told.
We got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what I call the targeted Marigny and the suffering St. Roch communities, where you have a crime wave targeting single women that has not been publicized and that regrettably our friends in blue have not addressed in an assertive fashion. We'll talk about the Cardell Hayes verdict. We'll talk about the Joe McKnight case. We'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff, including...
We'll talk about the baby that was killed, and nobody's saying anything about the child was killed in Marrero, and I was 10 months old. What about that baby?
So that's what we'll be talking about. So let's go ahead and dive in. Brother Mims, did you attend a charity expo Saturday? And if so, what was the nature of said event? And I'm going to chime in, too, because I was there.
Okay, man. I was blessed, bro, to be with some people who look better than me. They're younger than me, but they're enthusiastic. And they're talking about doing some things, solving some problems, and making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Can I set you up with that one?
Oh, definitely. Okay. And my street patrol, that was the first time that we did a charitable event. We had our own table, along with the North Rampart Community Center, which a lot of people didn't even know existed, but it's one of the oldest service providers of its kind in the city. The Teen Challenge, which helps teens and adults beat drug addiction through what I call a Christian boot camp approach, which is very effective. So we had people, the Healing Center itself was there. We had Miss T, who runs the community garden. So you had a good cross-section of people, and more importantly, not only were services being offered to the community, but the service providers themselves got to talk and network with each other.
Well, I was truly blessed, Cap, to be around. I felt like I was around a whole lot of Brother Mimses. There
were a bunch of Mimsites there, especially the coach who runs the North Rampart Community Center. You guys really sounded like you were cut from the same cloth.
Oh man, and let me tell you something. Enthusiasm is contagious. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was happy as no, I ain't gonna say that. Did I say that?
Let's just say you were very happy and leave it at that.
I leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was enthusiastic, excited. The deeper the bow, the more the respect. It's amazing, Cap, that righteousness doesn't have any limits. You know, it's black, white, it's rich and poor, it's educated, but everybody was on the same page that they wanted to do something.
True, and it was sponsored by my church, Refuge NOLA.
Yes.
And again, the pulpit, as I always tell people, the pulpit is on the pavement. You know, the service center, the office needs to be on the sidewalk in order to reach more people. A lot of folks aren't going to come to you. You have to go where the need is greatest, because when you change the streets, you change the stats.
That's right. That's right.
And I think one of our producers might like that one. And when you don't change the streets, you don't change the stats, and we see that every day.
Oh, hey man, it's amazing how much this city is in need. You know, Cap, when I was coming up, I used to hear people say New Orleans, the city that care forgot. And then I used to hear my daddy say, but we can't forget to care. And I didn't understand what he was talking about. And now it's on.
Oh, so that's where you get it from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a saying that the city that care forgot, but we can't forget to care.
No, we can't.
And Cap, and I'm gonna tell you something. I felt like I was in my element. I felt like I didn't have to explain nothing to. You know, it's good to be around people like yourself. They were enthusiastic. They were caring. They were loving, and there wasn't no pushovers. You don't have to explain nothing. You didn't. They want to give. You know, I've been around a lot of takers in my life. You know, they always take. Come on now, Cal.
Oh yeah, I mean the most challenging outreach is dealing with people who are totally into themselves.
What have you done for me lately? I got to get what I got to get and what I got to get. Like I had in my neighborhood, they had a turkey giveaway. One of these groups gave a turkey giveaway, and they do it every year. And I'm not mad with them, but there were people who were going and getting 2 and 3 and 4 turkeys. You know, so,
of course they were.
You know. I mean, come on now.
I mean, that's why I am profoundly selective in who I help, because I understand that there's so much con, so much greed that, enabling somebody trying to play under you and other people does not help the cause.
And this time of the year, Cap,
trust
me.
Yes.
It's real. It's real. The ones that need it the most seem to be the ones that don't receive nothing.
Nope. That's absolutely right.
And Cap, everybody who say they poor and don't have nothing, that's not true.
You got people who have plenty of money, but know they can go to a well-intentioned person or group and get something for free. They've got money for a Thanksgiving dinner, for instance, or Christmas dinner, but they say, hey, I can just go get a couple of free turkeys.
Cap, and I want to say again, I want to thank you because I got everybody's number, and they text me their number and thing. And
good deal.
I feel, let me just say this. I'm compassionate and caring for people that in need. But we have to answer that the calling of the need. It's I hear people say, well, I feel sorry for them. But if we got a place to lay our head and we have a sheet over us and we can go open the refrigerator and see something in the fridge. There are many people don't have a place. They're looking at the blue sky. And let me stop for a moment. And I can't remember the name, and I don't know if he was black or white. But last Friday there was a gentleman was found hypothermic. He had died of
exposure. You told me about that.
And it took my heart. And and we were in the richest country in the world, one of the well-known city in the world, and somebody died because they didn't have a blanket, they didn't have food. Cap, and sometimes and we do it. You and I run to we like chicken, or we eat. Taco Bells or whatever.
Yes.
But there are people, man, that really truly have pains, hunger pains. And I'm not talking about people who swilling you to get some drink or some drugs or smoke, something to smoke, but they really have hunger pains, Cap. I went under the bridge the other day, I had an apple pie, and it was a potato pie, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Potato pie. And I like potato pie, but I was full. Man, I gave this guy. I went in the bridge, Earhart Bridge by Central City, I got out of the car and last Wednesday, Thursday, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, bro, I got a pie here. And he said, well, what kind of pie is he? I said, sweet potato. He said, man, and I wasn't trying to be, he was trying to explain to me. He said, I wasn't trying to be choosy, but that's my favorite. And he took that pie. And he took the pie from me, and he was like, thanking me, bro. Bro, you think that Pharaoh or King whatever gave it to him. You think I gave him a whole meal, bro. And I thought about, they got some real hungry people in this world, man. You know. So what I'm saying is, the listening audience, be thankful for what you got. You know, there's a lot of people, and some of those are children.
Exactly.
You know, and you know,
a lot of them are children.
Yeah, a lot of them are children,
and a lot of them are black men.
Yeah,
I know nobody really cares about that, but let's just go ahead and put that out there too.
Let's put out with Linda, a friend of ours named Linda Armstrong, that she speaks about what is some of this with her. Some of it, they got to put the black male out of the family, or put them out of the house so they can get some shelter. What is going on? Who made that rule?
Well, guess what? The same person who made that rule many moons ago made a rule saying, slay the firstborn.
Yes.
And just to give you a highlight, Brother Mims and folks, December 14th, 2011, when Occupy NOLA was being run out of Armstrong Plaza across from New Orleans City Hall, I negotiated for a young man not to get in trouble who wanted to make his idealistic stand but did not want to go to jail in any way, shape, or form. And I'd like to thank Commander John Thomas, who was in charge of NOPD forces there, for facilitating that. You know, he's one of the few good members of the NOPD command structure in this administration, and you always need to give credit where credit is due.
I agree with you, Cap. I agree 100%. But, you know, and you don't give compliments out easy.
No, I don't. No.
Everybody don't deserve a compliment.
Nope. Again, we're seeing a crime wave targeting women in the Marigny, St. Roch, and Bywater communities. Nobody is saying anything about it. Nobody wants to respond to it among the so-called powers that be. And you cannot have a civilized society if your women aren't safe to walk in the streets. And what I find very interesting is when an NOPD official at the beginning of the holiday season stated that people, women particularly, needed to walk in pairs. You walk in pairs because the streets are not safe, and you need to have somebody there to secure you. That's why I was able to expand from a one-man street patrol to the group street patrol that I am now, because people are tired of being hunted and seeing women being assaulted, and they're taking action. And we're also organized with folks to say, hey, I'm not a my clique versus your clique person. You don't have to join my group. We'll help you organize a neighborhood walk in your area, because these neighborhoods need visibility. You got gangs of violent children who have now essentially taken over the streets in too many communities.
Well, since you are speaking about that, I just remember that my son said that there was they got a text on his phone alert. They have it that there was a young female student at Xavier was robbed, not far from.
Was it carjacking or robbery? Did they take the car?
I think they took the car also.
Okay, all right, we'll look that up and see.
That they were.
And remember now,
it was an armed robbery, because they said they either had a gun or they inquired, that they had a gun, and the car was taken and they bumped them. And this is around Jeff Davis area, the area around where the TV stations and everything.
I got you.
The Xavier campus. And so my son and I said to my son, he said, "Daddy, look like they targeting women."
Yep.
That's cowardly.
Yeah, they are targeting women. Again, this is the type of jackal, this is the type of pack of wolves mentality that we have on the streets now. And guess what? If these were skinheads, if these were neo-Nazis,
we'll be outraged.
Mitch Landrieu would be on TV, and all the alphabet soup would be standing behind him, and all these resources would be poured in. But when it's black children attacking mostly white women, I'm going to call it like it is, you can't find anybody in official circles who wants to even acknowledge that it's happening. Well, some friends of mine mentioned my name yesterday at an 8th District meeting about what's happening. And they mentioned me saying, well, here's somebody who is taking a proactive stance against that. And, Brother Mims, I'm a police supporter, but policing in New Orleans has become so politicized. I mean, NOPD and I, we follow each other on Twitter. I know them. I text out to people, so they know what I'm doing. Yes. So if there was any interest in uniting with what I'm doing in the targeted St. Roch or the suffering, well, actually, I call it the targeted Marigny or the suffering St. Roch areas, I would have heard from them by now. But I'm gonna be objective because it's the end of the year, so maybe they're trying to make that last year push to make it look like they're doing something.
Well, let me say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, you and I,
about
3 weeks ago, we rode around the French Quarters going to the 8th District, and I went down there last Friday, and I had some meetings and some interviews at the Ross and Esther Hotel, and I went back down there to speak to the commander about some concerns that I had in the quarters. Close your eyes and tell me what you see.
Ha 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 ha.
Nothing, and I'm still waiting for him.
Deep darkness.
I'm still waiting for him to contact me. You understand, Kim? Now, remember we went down there 3 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
And I went back down there again last Friday.
And
here it is almost another Friday, and I haven't heard from him.
And again, who's that you haven't heard from?
The commander. And I know him well. He's from the 6th District. Now,
I met him through you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this isn't. Brother Mims.
And I'm disappointed because I haven't even got a call, man.
And we're going to go to a commercial break in a second, but let me tell y'all, my 2 friends happen to be white. So now if NOPD contacts me because 2 of my white friends contacted them on my behalf, what does that say about what this agency's relationship is with the community they need to solve the majority of these crimes? We will be right back after some important commercial messages.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again. The enemy, telling you they hear it. They praise my music.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business. New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ, to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert, because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
This is Belinda Parker Brown, President of Louisiana United International. I am the host for A Force for Justice. You can listen to us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system. You can also call in at 504-341-8255 and tell us how you have become a victim in our criminal justice system.
On the New Orleans Talk Network, A Force for Justice with Belinda Parker Brown.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your #1 sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. FanView, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bank Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, FanView, where real fans talk about real sports.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims.
And this is Captain Black. We are hosts of the Hostages That Fight Back. You're listening to New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes.
Welcome back to Hostages That Fight Back. Here on New Orleans Talk Network, we are talking about the crime wave targeting single women in the targeted Marigny, suffering St. Roch, and battered Bywater areas of town, and the overall lack of response that, sadly, these complainants have received from the police department. Now, Brother Mims, you just said that you, because I was with you when you went to leave the message.
3 weeks ago.
And this is with somebody who knows you.
And
from his previous assignment
right. And
at the 6th District.
We wanted to make sure that my car wasn't towed away, and because I didn't have any change or any money to put in the meter.
Mm-hmm.
But it was important enough for Cap and I to see the commander. I was disappointed. No, when I first, that was about 3 weeks ago, I was excited.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, man, I need to talk to my boy, my friend. I left it.
Mm-hmm.
And he took my name, my phone number, and they knew who I was. Now, I went back down there. I had a meeting with some other people in that area last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 hours I was down there. But before I left, I went back to the 8th District.
Mm-hmm.
And I left my name, my number, and guess what?
Mm-hmm.
That was almost a week ago, day after tomorrow, again. So it's been almost 6 weeks since we initially went there and kept.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel bad. It's a kick in the butt because, we trying to help. We want to let him know.
But Brother Mims, let's just be honest. It's always like that. When
if I was Richard Torres,
Sidney Torres, everybody,
that might be his brother.
Yeah, it might be. Everybody seems to answer Sidney Torres calls. Everybody seems to pay attention when Sidney Torres talk. But guess what? Sidney Torres isn't out there walking the streets like I am and escorting people to make sure they're not attacked. Right. Sidney Torres isn't out there being threatened like you have been by drug dealers and worse in your community for taking stands in an inner city besieged neighborhood.
And I don't understand why Sidney
Torres somehow gets front of the road treatment. I mean, is this
he lighter than us?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe the fact that we're conservatives and we support law enforcement and we've been voices of support. Maybe that just isn't enough because we just aren't the right color. Is that what the deal is?
But you know, maybe I'm gonna give you something else too, Cap. He only talk about that 15 block area.
The French Quarter.
French quarters.
Yep.
I mean, come on now.
Yes, he does.
What's going to happen to the rest of the city?
Yes, he does.
I live in, you live in the lakefront, and I live in Central City, and the Central City been known for nothing but violence. You know, you think when you come to Central City, you got to have bulletproof vests and guns. But nobody talks about all the good things that's going on because the bad things is overshadowing everything else.
And the sad part is that in the areas that I've referenced, here in the midst of all of this racial division that is straining community relations throughout the country, here you have a street patrol of mostly black men, and we do have a white woman who wants to join, and we have a white man, a couple of white men who are going to join when their schedules permit. So it's not a color thing.
No.
But it's interesting to note that you've got black men defending white women against often fatherless, directionless black children who are attacking these women thinking that that's somehow going to solve their problems. Now, see, this is some very serious stuff that needs to be addressed, and you can't sweep it under the rug because it just gets worse. Now, the kids, they're throwing rocks at people. Groups of them are swarming people and attacking them. A lady got a concussion getting hit in the head. A lady I know was almost dragged off her bike by a group of these kids. Another lady was punched in the back of the head at the Healing Center parking lot. When is enough?
But you know what
makes you think it's Central City instead of a high, relatively high income area.
Yeah, check the address there on that. But Cap, when I hear and I've helped, and here I go, but I don't want to think I'm whining, but I'm gonna just be honest. I mean, if the truth be told, you got to tell it, right? These family members come to me, their mothers, dads ain't nowhere to be found. But Brother Mims, could you help my son? He's got this problem and this, and they want to give him 10, 15, 20 years.
Yep, y'all will tell him, hey, you might need that to grow on.
Oh yeah. And look, everybody who say they're in trouble, not in trouble.
Nope.
They just got caught. And
they want to get out of the trouble.
Yeah, the parents want to get out of jail ticket. Some of the parents, and see, Cap, I find out that some of my people that look like me, and I love y'all anyway, but I know y'all hate me because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to get out of jail ticket. When I start talking like, you know your son selling drugs. You know your son bringing stuff home that he shouldn't bring home. You know that car's not him, but you let him go bring you shopping in that car. That car was stolen. You know that you should know his whereabouts. You know he should have a curfew. He's 15 years old, and he's telling you what to do.
And the average age of the kids attacking these women? 10 to 15.
Oh, I know.
Should be supervised, should be monitored, and aren't.
Cap, I spoke about this on a regular on another show.
Okay.
This morning. The same very thing. Man, I want people to know that everything is not racism. We got to stop blaming racism on everything. Let me tell you something. The internal racism. I got most of the kids that look like me. That's one I got a problem with. Some of those kids, I got crystal lights in my yard. I got to close my gate to keep the kids from coming in the yard and stealing my lights, Cap.
And again,
hello.
And I know people who are prevention advocates say, well, I'm really uncomfortable with the idea of mobilizing against children. Well, here's the good news. Street patrol is non-confrontational. Most of the people, the overwhelming number of people, including some of the victims, don't want the children hurt, but we all agree we want the violence to stop. But we have mentor groups like Fatherhood Roundtable.
Come on, Cap.
Super mentors like yourself. Institutions like the North Rampart Community Center.
Come on.
That are willing to step in. But first, we've got to stop the violence. Then you can assess why is this child so violent? Why is he lashing out at people? And that's where mentors and community institutions can come in. But first things first.
What I like about what you're saying is that you got the whole answer to when I say answer, the solutions to treat the problem. But we got to get them off the streets because before they kill somebody or be killed, because when people scared, they do some strange things. Am I right or wrong, Cap?
Absolutely.
So I'm looking at Boo Boo, Buki. He come home, he ain't got no books, he ain't been to school, and Mama,
But when you feed your children a diet of excuses,
yes.
Nothing is ever your fault. Teachers can't discipline you. Parents can't discipline you.
They're scared of their
Then
children.
you create situations where either your potential victims and or law enforcement have to discipline you because nowhere in your maturation has anybody told you that, hey, there are sanctions for what you do and limits and parameters that you have to operate in. And a lot of the kids, is very clear, do not have that.
They don't.
Have no interest in it. And if it's not imposed upon them and they accept it, then by default, correctional facilities become the next step in their matriculation through society.
Well, that's what I said on another show, that we talk about mass incarceration. First off, if the kids don't want to go to school and they're not being taught, and they're not going to school, they're going to wind up in jail, and they're going to be in jail. The jail going to be crowded because, and the sad thing about it, Cap, a lot of it's not academics, it's common sense. And a lot of them don't have that. Now let's let the audience know that you and I have spent a lot of time in some of the programs of the study centers on both sides of the river, Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish, and we have spent a lot of our time, and we see A students, girls and boys, that and got some. So here's a kid with an A student. He started smoking weed. He become a B student. He don't think weed. He think he can smoke weed like
he doesn't even remember what his lesson plan is.
He don't have a
he's
clue.
Supposed to follow.
And guess what? I saw our boy yesterday too. He said he gonna call us. He said because he been missing us. But
okay, at the Youth Study Center.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But again.
I said, but she never called us.
No. I mean, holistic solutions require that everybody communicate. We are willing, even though, as I tell people, I am primarily a protection advocate. I believe in self-defense, citizens patrol, private security, and then community unity with law enforcement where possible. But I do understand that if there is some dim chance of changing someone's behavior, then that needs to be introduced into the equation also.
I agree.
For humanitarian and strategic reasons. Now, we can, of course, agree that presently children are not receiving any type of significant intervention on one hand, and then they also have to decide what do they want to do. It can't always, I get very leery when people want to tell me that all the answers to the black community's problems rest in somebody else treating them better.
Yes.
Well, that ain't going to happen anytime soon. So we've got to be able to exhibit the highest caliber behavior because, as I said at the Youth Study Center, 99% of black children cannot afford the economic consequences of criminal behavior, let alone any type of psychological or spiritual consequences. So that which you cannot afford, you need to avoid like the plague.
And you looked them right in their face, Cap.
Oh, yeah.
And told them what they didn't want to hear.
No.
And you can hear you can hear a pin drop in that room, right?
If you are not honest with them, then you are helping create more criminals instead of less.
Would you say none of y'all got no $50,000?
Nope. Nope. So remember, I said if it took $500 to walk out the door free, how many of you could do it? Very few of them raised their hands. Again,
And a little Caucasian kid there too, you know.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
You could just tell he
DWI.
was just like
he don't remember what he got drunk on.
the heck with it. He's just sitting there chilling out. I'm like, bro. I said, see, that lackadaisical attitude, you may enjoy some privilege, but you didn't enjoy enough not to be in the criminal justice system.
He sure was.
So you might need to smarten yourself up.
Yeah, that stupid look on his face. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, the cat said he drank so much and so well, he could not remember
That's right.
what he had consumed. And with a lot of the attacks, bringing it back to what's happening in the targeted Marigny, the suffering St. Roch, and battered Bywater areas, you find yourself encountering youth who might be intoxicated on racial hostility, as well as prescription drugs,
Come on, Cap.
in addition to illegal substances.
Yes.
And all that creates a very volatile cocktail for some poor woman just trying to walk or ride her bicycle or exit her vehicle peacefully in what is supposed to be an American city. It's not acceptable. I hit the streets against it, and I will continue to hit the streets against it because it is not something that a so-called civilized society should accept. And I don't, my street patrol members don't, and the people most affected by this in those areas do not accept it. All I say is let's create mediums where we can focus our outrage and our concern so that we increase safety and enhance counseling for those children who can be reached so that they don't spend their lives as violent criminals. Because that's where they're headed. I mean, the stuff that's being done now is not pranks. It's not teasing.
Oh, it's real.
You are attacking people, and in some instances it's being considered sexual assault because of the nature of some of the attacks.
And I believe, Cap, honestly, truly, that parents, many of those parents know what their children doing.
Of course they do.
They fueling that. They giving a stamp of approval. I really do believe that. Well, it's Christmas time, and I need some help.
And again, thank you. And again, a lot of people, a lot of well-intentioned folks from stable households, it's hard for them to accept, because I've talked to a number of crime victims in those areas. The youth of the children first causes them not to believe what's happening and sometimes inhibits potential responses because they just can't accept that somebody this young would be this violent and this evil and this angry for something that she has not caused, because all this is happening with strangers. They don't know these children. There was no argument, no slight, no disrespect. You just suddenly are walking down the street or riding your bicycle and a swarm descends upon you. But our police department, to date at least, has not issued any type of public bulletin. Will not do so. And
that's not good for the public.
No.
What is it? If we don't say anything, it'll go away. Maybe we'll get through the holidays without anybody getting killed.
And that's what they're looking at. And I'm willing to bet if you review those police reports,
they got a lot of problems.
A number of these complaints are not being listed as the serious assault that they are, because then that makes your stats look bad.
Well,
it makes it look like the 8th District is overrun by crime and nobody's doing anything. And, of course, a lot of people would say that's exactly what the deal is.
That is the deal. You just told the truth and shame the devil. But they don't like to hear that because, that's against their stat,
Yeah, and you've got a federal consent decree monitor. You got a federal consent decree being enforced by a judge who knows nothing about law enforcement.
We're going to talk to them tonight, too.
Yeah, yes, we are. We have a meeting with them. In fact, let's go ahead and take an early break, and then we'll be right back. Here on New Orleans Talk Network, feel free to join in the conversation, 504-341-8255. We'll be back.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again. The enemy, tell you.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
But it's up to us.
find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your number one sports talk show down here in the water. Yeah, I said it. Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bank Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topic going down here around the country. Again, Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports.
About your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims.
And this is Captain Black. We are hosts of Hostages That Fight Back. You're listening to New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel. Without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We might not be on some folks' Christmas list after this episode, but guess what? So be it. This is Hostages That Fight Back live in New Orleans Talk Network. We are talking about the crime wave targeting women in the following areas: the targeted Marigny, suffering St. Roch, and battered Bywater areas. And we also are discussing, regrettably, as police supporters, we don't take pleasure in saying this, the lack of interest when certain members of the community come forward to communicate.
It means somebody playing the Grinch.
Yeah, NOPD stakeholders. But Sidney Torres, who to my knowledge has not ever personally fought crime, unlike the two of us, he gets all access VIP. Why is that?
We got to fight the two-legged garbage.
This is true. This is true. He takes it out with his army, or his fleet, we'll say, of trash trucks, and we got to do it on our own, sadly, without
no support,
help
no
from those whose salaries our taxes pay.
No response.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
You know, he can get immediate responses, but us?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Who are we?
We the Lone Ranger.
Hey, bro.
Tonto.
I don't know who's Tonto, but I know it's a mess up situation.
Well, I'll be Tonto because I ain't getting nothing. I'm messed up. They're not respecting me in any kind of way.
And that's not good.
Oh, it keep me Sammy.
And, you know, the sad part is, you know, you talk community relations, but
relationships,
when members of the community actively involved, and I mean, look, there's only a handful of black people who are speaking up for law enforcement in general.
The same move.
And NOPD particularly in this city. And to think that you wouldn't even answer a phone, I mean, you leave a message with a NOPD commander about crimes in progress, and you still get no response. That's sobering.
And Cap, and you know what?
And it's always like that.
And we are the faithful few.
Mm-hmm.
They know our credibility. We've been the bat for them. Hello.
Yeah, well, all I can say is, bro, sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
Sometimes your team doesn't seem to appreciate you, and that might raise the issue that some of other commenters raise on other shows. You know, well, is the New Orleans Police Department an ally of the entire community? Now, we know good officers and we know good command staff members, but there is a culture in this administration that says that only certain black people will be heard and only certain citizens of any color will be heard, and very few. I mean, I know a lot of white crime victims who have gotten no service from NOPD, and I know a lot of black crime victims who not only didn't get service but got personally insulted for even thinking that they deserve service.
I know somebody that feel like they've been kicked in their behind over and over, named Al Mims. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I wanted to. Do we have a guest?
Think we have a caller on the line, a member of what I consider to be one of New Orleans' leading mentor organizations, the Fatherhood Roundtable. Brother Aaron, are you there? Maybe Brother Aaron isn't there. Well, brother,
yes, sir, I'm here. You can hear me, my brother?
Now we can hear you.
welcome aboard, Brother Aaron.
Oh, thank y'all for having me, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's going on with y'all this morning?
Hey, bro, we're just talking about how some citizens get ignored and some citizens get heard when it comes to crime. Sometimes it's a color issue, sometimes it's a clique issue. And sadly, most New Orleanians are not in the right clique to be heard.
Well, we not the clique, we got the wrong color too, Cap.
So, you know, that's a double whammy, Brother Aaron. But what we wanted to talk about was the local charity expo put on by members of the Refuge Nola Church. You were there. Tell us your perceptions of the event. It was at the New Orleans Healing Center, Saturday, from 11 to 3.
Yeah, the expo was real nice. It was a chance for, to get people out with different organizations and different type of artwork and different type of things to get all us, sociably and, economically try to come together and, build for not only the city of New Orleans, but also build for our people,
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that right there, it can go a long way. I'm a little nervous. I got so much I'm trying to say and get all at one time.
Take your time,
yeah,
bro. It's all right, bro. It's all right. We know where your heart's at, bro. That's the most important thing, Aaron.
Oh yeah, and I often always say, everything that I do, I don't never want nobody to be patting me on the shoulder, on the back, saying, "Oh, you doing this?" Because the things I do it straight from the heart, and it's not for no self glorification, And I have no problem with showing love to my brother or my sister, and not expecting nothing back in return,
And that's why let me say this, Calvin, help me out with this. If I'm not mistaken, this brother just described a solution to problems, because he willing to show his brothers and sisters some love, compassion and thing, and that means that somebody should change, or somebody should be offered some kind of compassion and love, because we ain't getting a whole lot of it out there, Cap, huh?
Yep.
So. But the thing that I see, Brother Mims and Brother Cap, is that the reason why a lot of us is not really showing it because we don't really know how to show it, or we seeking and we looking for validation in others instead of validating our own self. You know, it's like a lot of us, we trying to identify ourselves with something that we know nothing about. You know, you constantly hear people saying you need to love this and to love that, but first you got to, first of all, love yourself and know who you are. Because without knowledge of self, it's like a tree without roots. You know, you can't grow nowhere, and you ain't gonna never go nowhere. So until we get back to knowing who we are first, I mean, the rest gonna tell. That's why you're seeing so much crime, because it's so many dead people that just walking out here. You know,
and that's
a lot
the
of
question
people
I was
think that
going
the
to ask
devil
you.
is in hell causing all this, but the devil is walking these streets every day.
But see, that was the
Every
question
day.
I was going to ask you. You know, how do we, because the violence is coming from within our community, impacting our community, and then hitting other communities. So how do we stop this violence instead of always asking for the government to do it?
You hit the nail on the head right there. We gotta first unify. That's the most important thing. We need to first unify, and we need to find out ways to build our own economics. We gotta stop looking for others to do things for us what we can do for our own self. A lot of times we look for everybody else to do things for us what we can do for our own self. When we start to get comfortable, we start to depend on that. You know.
Why is that, Aaron? You think that we don't? If you know, you quoted me many times that if a brother fall down, do we have to ask for help? We have some families and people who are hurting and need some help, and when the community seems to be you know, no compassion, no love, no what's going on?
It's like they don't. Let me see, how can I put this? It's like we need the ones who are with the light and with the love. We need to allow our love and our light to overshadow the darkness and the evil that's going on out here. See, what I've been seeing over the past couple of years. Now I'm just 30 years old, but when I was coming up, I came up underneath a lot of my elders. That was a lot of wisdom. See, I was taught that knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens.
Okay.
You know, and it's like once we start showing that love, we can be the ones to cancel out all that evil and wickedness by the way how we take and live our lives. Because, you know, just like you said, Brother Mims, if I see you fall, why should I ask you, do you need help for me to help you get up? That should be like an automatically thing for me to do. If my brother falls, I need to go to my brother and help him. And see, a lot of times, I'm gonna use the church for an example. If I'm trying to get you to convert to Jesus, it's my job to love you where you at, not try to put everything on you. Like, you need to do this or this gonna happen. No, you gotta love me where I'm at.
You sound like a Mimsite. That's what I call people. Who start sounding like Brother Mims, a Mimsite.
I'm gonna give you a clap, bro. I'm gonna give you a clap on that, bro.
He gets happy when he hears
Aaron, my brother, Aaron, you have, and my little brother, you said you was nervous. You rolling now, bro. He on a roll now, Cap. And not because you sound like me, bro, but I'm saying you said, because I'm nervous because I'm trying to get this out. Hey, bro, it's coming out, bro, and it's coming out right. And we're talking about solutions. Now, let me tell you something, Aaron. You giving solutions, and you are doing it by example. You're not telling somebody to do something you haven't done or wouldn't do. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Well, so what is the problem in our community that they won't follow suit or take our advice? What's going on?
It's like a lot of our people, we looking, it's like when they see us having these meetings and, you know, especially being conscious, they feel like, you know, we done did enough of that already. It's time to do this. It's time. Matter of fact, I give you a perfect example. I was at the protest, you know, for Brother Joe McKnight, right?
Okay.
Now, the protest was I think it was that Thursday or that Friday. Now, we out there, and, you know, you got a lot of brothers and sisters. It's time for revolution. It's time to fight. But at the same time, you don't need to always, the revolution is not always with your fist. The revolution can be with your mind, because if your mind is not trained, your fist, I mean...
That's what Elijah Muhammad taught and continues to teach in absentia, that you have got to realize that the ultimate revolution is your spiritual and mental rebirth. Like you said, a lot of walking dead men and women and children who are attacking people. I call it the zombie swarm, where a bunch of kids just jump on somebody like something out of a horror movie for no reason. And a lot of times it's not even robbery, it's intimidation and just some sick thrill in hurting somebody.
Exactly. And see, we got to get back to spirituality. Notice I said spirituality and not religion, because see, religion is man-made. God wants you to have a relationship with him. Now, all them rules and regulations, man, God not worrying about nothing. He not worrying about if you Baptist or Catholic or Muslim. Man, none of that stuff don't matter. What matters at the end of the day is that we have a relationship with him. All that other stuff, man, is later on for all that, because see, all that religion and stuff, that's why we so divided. I mean, I'm a Baptist and you a Muslim, so you don't believe in what I believe in. We can't work together. Why not? We need to put that to the side, because at the end of the day, you Baptist, you struggling. You Muslim, you struggling. You Presbyterian, you struggling. Why we can't put all our stuff on the table and let's start to build something together, no matter what we are, who we believe in.
You sound like Pastor Joey Rakasno.
You're bringing up all the heavy hitters now.
He been around them too long, bro. And you know what? Now he done made some enemies out. Now somebody say, "Goddamn, now Aaron." He done got on that bandwagon. But let me say this to you, my brother. I say that, brother. I'm pointing fingers at you that See, you just said what the solution is, but you got to humble yourself. And I'm gonna say this again. I always and I will always, as long as breath in my body. Folks out here, you'll be surprised. Aaron don't have a drop of my blood. You're my little brother. He say he's 30 years old. I'm 63. I'm 33 years older than him. And his brother helped me. And I'm not going to talk about the circumstances there because I don't want to embarrass him. But he was there for me. When my mama died, there were some situations going on. It was hard. But every time I walked around, and he was there for me, standing right there, my wife and my family. So what I'm saying is, he wasn't just a talker, and you speak well, but you're a doer. See, talk is cheap, Jesus went to the cross for us, bro. People can say what they want to say. He died, and he came up and he rose. So what I'm saying is to you, bro, I appreciate you and where you at, and even what you do, because, hey, bro, it's good to see a young man. Yeah, bro, look, when we around these young people, bro, I tell them, but they're better than Oh no!
You're not about to say
no. They're better than one of their multiple fighters.
Yeah, brother Mims gets very happy, and folks, what we're talking about gets back to the topic of ending these youth assaults on women, because if the child is not getting direction at home, if he's ignoring direction at school, if his neighborhood is essentially a thug boot camp, then intervention has to come from elsewhere. And either that intervention is going to be people defending themselves against him, or, where possible, mentoring him and trying to renew his mind and leaving the culture of being a violent criminal and becoming a valued member of society.
Well, and that's the key right there, Cap. I remember when I was coming up in the Desire Project, $20, doggone near fed the whole block. I mean, I can go to my next door neighbor and be like, neighbor, do you got some rice? Do you got some sugar? It's like people are afraid to go to their neighbors today,
Well, Brother Aaron, let me tell you what it is. They done looked at the housewives of Atlanta and hip hop and everything. They all, what it is, if Aaron, if these are my friends, I don't need no enemies, bro. They talk about each other. All they got big boobs, big behinds, implants, and everything. And and I'm saying to you, bro, and I say that they all talk about each other, and the parents sitting down with their children, watching this, and I'm telling you, bro, some of that stuff, that trash, it sticks to them, Aaron. It's just like my cross or my chain on my neck. It sticks with it. They hang on that stuff, And I see them come out here and they be trying to, interpret what they hear out on radio and TV, and it's real, So it's trash, bro. But I'm telling you something, bro. somebody getting some money off our children going down the road with no weapon in their hand, bro.
And see, all that what you just said just now, Brother Mims, all that was strategically planned, because it's like people, they take the lowest thing we have to offer and give it the maximum exposure.
Yes.
You look at all the rap videos, all the black movies that we got. It's always got to be one of us portraying somebody that's down bad and no good.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yep. Well, our women, bro. You know, as I said, brother, it's all about the women loving each other, and we not even in there. And the guys, you know, they got extramarital relationships, and bro, what about marriage? What about you know, a husband and a wife and being together? And that's what I look at. You know, my mama, I was raised with my father. I saw him, and he worked. I saw him go to work, and you know, I saw him go with my mom, take my mama to you know, to make groceries. But Aaron, what I see now is that, and I'm not a chauvinist against women. All I see is some of these times these women making these boys out of men. And they think that they on the same court. But I've had some kids come around me, and I'm 6'3.5". They had some 6-footers, some 15, 13 years old, and gonna call me bruh. And I said, I'm not. Hey, Aaron, look, I got an answer for him.
Here we go. I'm not your bruh.
I'm not your bruh. I said, let me explain something to you, son. I can't go no 12 rounds. But I will put a 63 behind whipping on your behind for 2 minutes. And Aaron, I promise you, I'm gonna do everything I can, because I don't. There's no. Sometimes, Aaron, you know, you don't hear no respect, brother. They talk to you, you know, hey, old man, you know. I said, wait a minute, I ain't your boy, I ain't your partner,
and a lot of them
ain't your dog.
Don't know any better. That's the sad part.
And
or don't want to know any better.
Aaron, a man, a woman, and I see this, and I tell some of these women, you're gonna get him killed, you're gonna get him hurt. You can't talk to me any kind of way. I'm not gonna let that happen. And let me tell you something. They think that, Aaron, a gun is respect. That ain't nothing but fear. So if I got a gun and you got a gun, then who get the biggest gun is the one who get the respect. And that's crazy. And let me say this, and I'll be quiet. When we were coming up, Aaron, brother Aaron, if there was somebody, if I didn't like you or Cap, as long as you had some innocent person with your baby or just somebody that didn't do anything, he could have been a drug dealer, and I had no beef with him. You gonna live a long time, because I know I'm gonna kill you, but I wouldn't touch an innocent person. But now these Negroes shooting babies. I keep thinking about the 10-year-old baby, 10-month-old baby, 10-month-old, not 10 years. 10-month-old baby was killing with his daddy when they shot in that house, opened that door and shot in the house. Now nobody's saying nothing, and I say to myself, you know, y'all know who killed those people. Y'all know. You know, y'all can't do the Aaron thing without, you know, because see, I'm telling them, ain't no white person shot that baby, brother Aaron. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you say about that, brother?
It's something that you said, that because when I was at the protest, I was out there letting a lot of the brothers and sisters know, and you know, most of them, they got mad at me. But
come on, bro.
I understand that, you know, Black Lives Matter and everything, but Black Lives Matter can not only matter when a white police officer just killed a black person.
Precisely.
When a black person killed a black person, Black lives supposed to matter right then and there. We got to learn how to take care of our own in the midst of our own. We can't just always pick and choose our battles. Like, okay, a white person killed somebody black, we got something to say. But when your cousin stand in the same house, you selling dope to your own people, it's all right. He's just trying to make money to get by. No, that's not all right.
Oh, you stepping on toes. Aaron, brother Aaron, I'm telling
that's some good Mimsism.
Oh man, that boy crazy, right, man? Let me say this to you, bro. That's the same situation I got in my neighborhood. A kid that I helped. He was, you know, he was facing 40 years. And Cap, no, I'm telling the truth. I ain't gonna say the name. I don't know if they're listening. I don't say y'all name, but I helped him, and he said he made a mistake. I told him who to stay away from, and who not to be with, and everything I told him not to do, Aaron, he did it. And my grandchildren was on the line. He was selling drugs in front of my house, and we got into it. His mama and daddy, they said, "I appreciate what you did for my son, our son, but he grown. Y'all taking the money now." Y'all, other words, I'm telling you, bro, everybody ain't innocent, Aaron. Some of these mothers and stepfather, some of these men, so-called men, they scared of their doggone children, their stepchildren. They don't have no respect. Let me tell you something. I love my son, and he's my only child. He's 21 years old, and he's a great kid. But he better not call me Al. He better be running if he call me Al, Aaron. I'm gonna bust his behind, bro. So what I'm saying, I just see a lack of respect, decency, and Cap said it. Lack of men. Women, some of these men, bro, put themselves in a bad position, Aaron. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to live where I can't be respected. You know what I'm saying, bro? If that's my children and they disrespect me, somebody going to go to jail, bro. And I love my children, but if they disrespect me, I know my daddy used to tell me all the time. He said, "Son, I'm his firstborn. I'm junior." He said, "Son, if you ever disrespect me, I'll kill you." And that may sound hard to y'all, but my daddy, that stayed on my mind. I stole a candy bar. I'm going to say it again, Cap. I was 13 years old, Brother Aaron, and I stole this candy bar from the store, Ernst, and the white man called me. He said, "I'm going to call your mama." I said, "Call the police. Don't call my mama." My mama was 90 pounds, but she would have beat my behind. She said, "You don't steal. You don't steal. You don't kill. You don't steal, rob, and don't lie. Steal or kill. Don't lie, steal or kill."
We all got the same drill. So yeah, what your mother said is what my mother and grandmother and grandfather. Of course, my grandfather. All he had to do was look at me, and if I felt like I had failed him in any way, I became incredibly contrite.
I know the feeling.
Yep. So we talking to the public out there, the listening audience, that what we talking about is not difficult. You just gotta focus on the right thing, and right ain't gonna make you always feel right, but we're gonna be always right. I tell people it's easy to do right because my mind is set on that. Because too many times I see in people, and they say, I see children, they have mamas, and mamas and them have these parties for these children, and they have a grown-up party too. And them grown-ups be out there smoking weed and drinking and partying, and their behinds all out, and the children be watching them, Aaron. The children, I remember, bro, I'd rather see a sermon. Children learn more about what they see than what they hear, huh? But I see some of these women, bro, and I see them in my neighborhood. They fasten these little babies in the car seat, 8, 9, 10, 11 months old, and they be in there for the first 3 or 4 years of their life, and they be hearing kiss this and suck this and beat this and butt, and I be saying, man, these children are being held hostage. They can't help but hear this music. And Aaron, you are what you hear, bro. You are what you digest, right?
That's it.
Well, Brother Aaron, we'd like to thank you for being Brother Al Mims 2.0 today on our show. Let me close with this question to you. What made you join the Fatherhood Roundtable? I'd asked you this offline at the local charity expo, but I'd like for the audience to hear why.
What made me join the Fatherhood Roundtable is that the way how they taking care of themselves. See, I like how the old saying was that when somebody give you a picture, you don't look at the picture, you look in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me join the Fatherhood Roundtable. The way how they carry themselves, the way they talk. We have a lot of organizations that be out here, and they be like, we doing this, they doing that. But when you get over, they not really doing that but making a whole bunch of noise,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So what made me join the Fatherhood Roundtable is when I heard the president, Joseph Ricafina, when they was asking him a question about, "Oh yeah, Joe, you doing this and you doing it," he was like, "No, let me correct that. We doing this and we doing that." And when I heard that, it's simple things like that took and grabbed me, and not only brought me to the Fatherhood Roundtable, but kept me there. Because most of the leaders, when you be over something, it's just all about this. It's all about me. It's all about me. And once I seen that, that brotherhood, that love that's spreading from heart to heart, like I said, that's not what only brought me there. That's what kept me there.
And bro, he bring his talent, he bring his ideas and his willingness to do what the work they really, bro. He was a troubleshooter. We done been fishing with young people, and I always say, I'm gonna say this, brother, y'all some, bro. We better men. I'm a better man because of being around a young brother like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I look in the mirror and I see you're a walking mirror. I see, I get myself straight because I got to get a checkup from the neck up, bro.
Hey, let me tell you what the sister from Detroit said on her Twitter timeline, and that would be a good way to close out this segment and go to a break. She said, each one teach one? Nah, we are in a state of emergency. Each one teach 10.
Come on.
And I contend that's what Fatherhood Roundtable and you two gentlemen individually do on a daily basis. Brother Aaron, thank you. Don't be a stranger.
Love you much, my brother. Peace.
Love y'all too, man. Peace.
Folks, this is Hostages That Fight Back. We are talking about the crime wave that is hitting women. Supposedly our most valued citizens. Hitting women in the targeted Marigny, Suffering St. Roch, and battered Bywater areas. If you'd like to join the conversation, please call in at 504-341-8255.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again. The enemy, telling you to hear it. They praise my music, this time they play my lyrics.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in. You can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
but it's up to us.
Find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims.
And this is Captain Black. We are hosts of Hostages That Fight Back. You're listening to New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hostages That Fight Back. We just closed out a segment with Fatherhood Roundtable member, Brother Aaron. We've been talking about the intentional targeting of women in our community for violent assault. I guess there's no other type but violent assault, so for assault. And again, the targeted Marigny, the suffering St. Roch, and the battered Bywater areas. Now we're going to switch to a related topic and pose this question. What do you think of NOPD? You know, there was a survey that was done by an organization in the mayor's hip pocket. So I'm going to open the question to our callers, and you can call in at 504-341-8255 with your opinion on the New Orleans Police Department. And we're going to start off with Brother Mims. How long have you been involved with NOPD?
I guess really all my life. I was on the outside looking in. I wasn't really afraid of them because I was always taught from a young age. My mama said to respect the law enforcement officer. So, you know, most of the officers I saw, 99% of them were white. You know, they only had a few black police officers when I was coming up. And as I said, my mother instilled when Pearl Mims spoke and my daddy spoke.
Gotcha.
You listen, and they said to, and I think that Cal, what you're saying is that the kids are not getting ample portion of good instruction. So like respect your elders, respect their uniform, and as Aaron said, Black Lives Matter. Not just when officers. No, we just shouldn't respect one another, but we should respect their uniform. Not because he's a cop, but because he's a person behind that badge. And you know, and I want to be treated the way I treat you.
Well, you know, I use the Sidney Torres rule. Now, I have been a safety advocate for over 20 years.
And that's unselfish.
I participated in the citizens' arrest. I've done bounty hunting. You know, I have gathered information so that people who are too afraid to go to the police, I have been the intermediary giving that information to the police in high crime communities. Now, I don't have the access that Sidney Torres does sitting in his mansion, you know, hitting send on his American Express card to buy new crime fighting initiatives. You know, I don't have that, but strangely enough, despite what I do, I don't get the access that Sidney Torres has. And in turn, should the police department be surprised when stakeholders, people who believe in law and order, not the ones who don't, but when stakeholders are displeased with them, urban stakeholders particularly?
You know, Cap, I was just thinking, again, we go back, we're talking to Brother Aaron, and you know, some of the answers and the answers that you gave and I gave, because we're always talking about solutions and quality of life. I got a dose of that from not only my parents, but from my brothers, because we were told the same thing: respect one another. And my brothers would tell me, you know, hey, bro, you know what Mama say, we got to do this and do that, and I said that to them. But so you know, and then the neighbors, they would say the same thing. We didn't hang around. Because my mother knew who we were around, and she would walk. If she walked around the corner, we was around somebody's house that, and they had the ones that, you know, that their mama let them do what they want to do, and that was the bad guys. If you were with them, that was your behind, bro. You know, mama gonna put ticket out on you. So we got a double dose, a triple dose a consistent dose of respectability, and they not only uh, spoke it from us, but they showed by how they, we would speak to policemen, and some of the things now, Cap, they writing that into we say now. I know some people have some issues with the police, but let me say this to you: I got issues with us too, and every policeman is my enemy. I want to, we try to many times, Cap, you and I riding around the city. We stop, let our window down, and you'll say, we want to thank you for your service in the community, because I know everybody is not unselfish and not doing the right thing, but let me tell you something: you still got to do the right thing, and I just think that I know one thing, Cap, that you're a model of what you do and who you do it. I think that you're not getting the cooperation, and I don't know what it's all about. Because is it because you're the wrong color? There you go. Well,
and here's the sad part. Now here you have two old school conservative brothers now, not trying to burn anything down, not trying to put a thug in our lap,
and keeping it quiet in some of the community.
Yeah, and not trying to put a thug in our lap and excuse a lifetime spent harming others. We're not those types of cats. But it does seem awfully odd that based on your pigment and your zip code, that's the response you get, or that's the hill you have to climb to get the response that, again, someone like Sidney Torres gets simply by walking in the door.
It's steep, too, bro. It's
steep.
Yes.
And incredibly so.
And then guess what? They done put some slippy stuff on there.
I think so.
You ain't got no grip.
Nope.
And I'll say that because, if it wasn't happening to me, Cap, maybe I could, be enthusiastic, but hey, man, I'm disappointed because I tried to say, hey, man, this guy, I really respect him, but I'm disappointed in him, bro. I'm really disappointed, bro.
I've always said you got to keep politics out of policing. And I know that's counterintuitive, but you have to. I mean, here we have a police department that, for all intents and purposes, can't do its job because you have somebody looking over his shoulder, federal judge, and she's the one, not the persons with experience in policing, not even the persons with experience in the type of safety advocacy we do, but a judge safely ensconced behind an army of deputy United States Marshals. She decides how this police department conducts itself in an incredibly violent and unstable community.
I'm telling you, I agree with you 100%. You and I, and anybody who have listened to popular stations and ours show know that we have always told to say this thing over and over and over again, and you and I can ditto each other that we live this. I don't like everything I do because but we're not no renegades, we're not no vigilantes. We're men who taking responsibility for our neighborhoods and for our safety of our people, children, boys, and those who are less fortunate, but we're not stupid. We're not no get over. I don't want nobody to think they're gonna slap me and they're gonna turn the other cheek. I will bust your behind.
Yep.
So I want to let them know that Brother Mims and Calvin Black wasn't born. They were born at night, but wasn't born last night.
There you go.
And we're not stupid. I may look stupid, but trust me, I'm not. And I'm never. No, I need to say this because, and people, I hear people say, well, what are you, Christian, Brother Mims? I say, yeah. Well, if I slap you, you're gonna turn the other cheek. I'm not there yet. I will put my.
That's when the boxer comes out of you.
I will put my foot in your behind. And really, I'll send you to Jesus. But and I'm saying this that because some people, Cap, think that they can get away with anything with you. There are some people that ain't worth the ground they walk on, and they get all, how much is enough money? I always say that. And some of us that look like me, it's all about greed. They don't want to share nothing with nobody. They don't want to tell them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about my time, and I want it now. And, I look around, and I've been hungry, but there are people, little babies, children, those who can't help themselves, those are the ones that's doing the worst. And we walk around, we throw stuff away that would probably be a great meal for somebody, but we waste not, want not.
And again, that's the mindset that's powering all this assault. I don't care, and I'm going to inflict my lack of caring on other people, and that's not acceptable.
No,
you don't have the right to force whatever your issues are on other people, and definitely you don't have the right to lay hands on people or to hit them with rocks or bricks.
I'm not gonna take it.
No,
I'm not gonna. And the kids need to understand that. That's why I say parents not communicate with their children. Cap, there are a lot of guns out here on the street.
Yes, there are.
There are guns that people got. They state IDs.
In fact, here's an update for you. Some of the bicycle kids that we've been keeping an eye on, who frequently healing center area.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, the oldest of the group, is alleged to have had a firearm that he showed to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So that always ups the ante when your opposition may be armed.
True.
So this stuff is very serious. And what I don't want to happen is an innocent woman to be killed, or conversely, a not-so-innocent child who, in the commission of an assault, is killed in self-defense, and then suddenly people are screaming, "Oh, but he was 10. Oh, but he was 14 years old."
Well, where you been at when we've been talking, and you seeing this, you seeing the maneuver right in that position, huh, Cap? You see it, and they'll say, "Where were you at when we were talking about this?" And especially the mothers want to fall out and jump in the grave and think we're gonna bury their behind, Cap.
Hey, bro, that's how real it gets, and it's become cliche that, well, this is just how it is in the inner city. Oh, this is just how it is with black kids. Oh, you can't expect anything better. But no, you got to demand better, because you don't have a right to run around beating up people. And for young so-called men running around targeting women makes you a coward.
Yes.
And in some communities, the men in that community would hunt you down. So you need to be very happy that you're dealing with people who believe in a constitution and due process and civility. A lot of the victims I've talked to, Brother Mims, are more concerned about their victimizer than they are about themselves. So that's a noble thing. Some might say misplaced in a confrontational context, but definitely something that should not be overlooked.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And Gab, I know we keep drilling the same thing back home, but it's simple. All we got to do is be kind to one another. And I'm not, and that's biblical, but it really makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. I hear people say, "Man, that's a B and she ain't do." Well, who give you authority to determine who that person deserves and what that person deserves?
But that magic word, respect, how, we talk about respect so much, and how people shouldn't treat me a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you get cats who are socialized to be violent criminals, the respect only goes one way.
Yes.
See, it is never mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you're going to respect me, I'm going to do what I want to do to you, and you're going to take it.
Go ahead.
That is the selfish, evil mindset that we see played out on our streets. Our streets.
Yes.
It's not right.
I agree with you 100%. It's not right, but let me tell you something. Right gonna always be right, no matter what you do, but we got to keep pushing right, because like this generation, and I'm not talking about all of them. This millennium generation, it's all about them. You know, they think they talk about all this energy, and I hear them talking about them old men and how that's the way they used to do it. Say, man, the same thing that worked then will work now. Don't sell us short.
Nope.
Because when you step over that line, you can't step back over it. When you make a maneuver, somebody gonna bust your behind.
Hey, man, and that's what I see. That's the thin line we're walking with this situation, with this crime wave. If a woman defends herself,
yeah,
and the assailant ends up being a kid,
yeah,
he gets the worst of it.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah,
you know, people are going to bring in all this racial baggage, but I would ask,
it's green.
Like a future member of the Street Patrol said to me, he works in the co-op there, the organic supermarket.
Okay.
He stopped some little brothers who were shoplifting.
Okay.
And he told them, quite frankly, that you're making black look bad right now.
Mm-hmm.
He said it to them softly, bro. And he forced them to confront. Because, again, I don't know if anybody is talking to them about the political and the tactical consequences of this reign of terror that they're having. You know, no one is telling them that this does not help you, this does not help race relations, this does not help public safety. It does not help your family, because when you get caught, your mother, who may not be conscious of this or may not be involved in this, she has to pay the price.
Yes.
You know, see, we don't want to talk about that.
We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We have to be honest with ourselves. And if we do that, things will get better. But I want to step on your foot, and I'll say, excuse me, you're on my foot. I know, but you're going to be all right.
That's right. And then they keep stepping on it. And they got hobnail boots on, steel-toe boots.
Oh, yes.
And they just keep stepping.
Yes. Yes. I want to slap the slap out of them, Cap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I want to let y'all know that I don't think it's no accident that Cap and I believe it's no accident that Cap and I speak about this, because, you know, we've been through the ringer. We know what aggression and racism is.
Yeah.
We prepared for it. We're not no fly-by-night Negroes.
Not at all.
I know Hebrews were black. They had to be black. I'm telling you, bro.
There you go, brother.
They had to be black, man, because, man, that's an unusual character. Ain't nothing like the Hebrew, bro.
Nope.
Ain't nobody was made like them.
Nope. And again, there is no greater vision that I'm seeing. Now, when a young person is being told that his identity is to be a violent criminal, that his role in society is to prey on people and attack people, then you have created somebody that society will throw away. Society will decide to defend itself against.
Yes. You know, Cap,
and it's too late to cry after the fact.
Well, a lot of these kids are building up a reputation with the judicial system and to teachers and ministers and things, and man, it's a storm brewing, and some of these kids are going to find out the hard way that when they find themselves before a judge, they're going to think that, you know, they get a slap on the wrist or something, and many of them are going to spend the rest of their life behind bars.
And we're trying to avoid that. But first you stop the violence.
Oh, yeah.
Then you work on the value system that created the violence.
Oh, yes.
But you have to do one before the other.
Well, we got to love one another and do better.
It's not fair to ask somebody in the midst of an assault to try to do a psychological assessment and a spiritual inventory on the assailant.
Not going to happen.
No. You know, I've met some very interesting people while doing this.
Yes.
I've met a lady who, now you might like this lady, because, you know, like I said, self-defense, bro, it's in different people's comfort zones.
Okay.
She has studied Krav Maga, which is an Israeli martial art which is designed to maim, not to stop, but to maim as quickly as possible so you can get away.
Okay.
And she has a concealed carry license.
Okay.
Now, many of the people I've talked to, their comfort zone doesn't incorporate bone breaking and guns, but they are concerned and they want to do something to make themselves safer. That's the focus. That's the common ground we have to meet on. And also, they're very concerned about rehabilitation for these young people. They don't want to accept a vision that the only thing that can be done with these kids is that you got to lock them up or maybe shoot them or maybe break one of their jaws when he tries to attack you. I mean, these are good women, good people, put in a very bad situation. So that's why my approach has always been, I lead with protection, but I also bring trusted, serious prevention providers. People like the Fatherhood Roundtable, institutions like the North Rampart Community Center, so that if the child can be reached, if he's receptive to a rehabilitation message, there are people that we can hand them to as we address the violence which cannot be tolerated.
You know what? I'm speechless because, you know, Cap, if we had a dime for every time we talked about solutions, and not like some other people, we talk about things that work. You got to believe in it. You can't half-heartedly do it. You know, you and I disagree in the public. May find that odd, but Cap and I, we at 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, we'd be disagreeing.
This is true. This is true. Profoundly counterproductive, but, you know, it does happen. But the effort of creating a united front sometimes is not peaceful. Sometimes is not error-free. But it is worth the time to do so. Some would call it mental sparring, as one of our super producers. He just now
got
but
that in.
Young men sharpen men like iron sharpens iron and steel sharpens steel, depending on which interpretation
that's
that
true,
you want to read. And speaking of interpretation, I've looked up at the clock, and I've interpreted that it is now time for an important commercial break. But we will be right back here on New Orleans Talk Network. And as one of our fellow hosts says, don't you dare touch that dial.
I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again. The enemy, telling you they hear it. They praise my music, this time they play my lyrics.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business. New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
This is Belinda Parker Brown, President of Louisiana United International. I am the host for A Force for Justice. You can listen to us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system. You can also call in at 504-341-8255 and tell us how you have become a victim in our criminal justice system.
On the New Orleans Talk Network, A Force for Justice with Belinda Parker Brown.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your #1 sports talk show down here in the water. Yeah, I said it. Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bang Ball Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports.
About your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims.
And this is Captain Black. We are hosts of Hostages That Fight Back. You're listening to New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes.
Welcome back to Hostages That Fight Back here on New Orleans Talk Network. As usual, I am Captain Black, the original hostage that fights back, the superhero for folks feeling like zero. Sitting beside me is Brother Al Mims, New Orleans #1 crime fighter and mentor. We have talked about and will continue to talk about the crime wave.
It's unofficial. Nobody's saying anything, but you heard it from us.
Literally hitting women in the targeted Marigny, Suffering St. Roch, and battered Bywater communities. And we invite anyone who's been touched by crime in those areas
and Xavier
to please call 504-341-8255. Again, 504-341-8255, because for some reason the word is not getting out.
I agree.
Brother Mims?
I want to say, as you know, we got a few minutes left before you permit me to say my prayer short.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that, you know, many of people, you know, want to talk about, and I say this over and over again, they want to talk about the problem. But until you instill some solutions and be part of the solution, that means action. And I'm a praying person, but prayer is an action. Prayer is putting legs on what you are concentrating on. And let me be honest with you. There are some things that we do. We don't need to pray. We know it right. We know right from wrong. You hear what I said, Cap?
True. You don't need a Phi Beta Kappa key.
No.
You don't need a seminary degree to know that it's wrong to beat up on women in public.
That's right.
Or private.
Or, you know, breaking somebody's house and to be the Grinch. You know, as I said, I got Christmas ornaments in my yard, and I have to close my gate. And I got a crime camera I want y'all to know, but I shouldn't have to. I mean, they got kids who want to walk in my yard and pull my ornaments up. That's trespassing, and that's stealing. Am I right, Camp?
And once again, look at what you said: trespassing and stealing. Now, a lot of little people may not even realize that you don't have a right to go unannounced, uninvited to somebody's property.
Nobody's correcting them. They think that, you know, they can. It's all right to go in the yard. And then I hear some Negroes say, Mr. Mims, you must not like children. I said, what you talking about? Well, they are children. They're children. You got to teach them. You made them. You brought them here. I'm not blaming the children, but you're not correcting them.
Nope.
When they get in front of that judge or that jury, it's on, I can't.
Bro, like they used to say, it's on like Donkey Kong.
And I'm tired of my people using that nobody told them. And then really, sometimes the children don't know, but they're going to suffer. And parents, when your child get that 20 and 30 years, that you could have stopped them 20 or 30 years earlier, but you know what? You were so busy, with your man, with your girl, with your girlfriend, oh man, should I go? I shouldn't go there. I can't.
Yeah. We're gonna skirt around that.
We're gonna skirt around that,
but focus like a laser beam on the matter at hand. And the matter at hand is that too many people are being assaulted in our community. Too many police reports have been filed. Too many tears have been cried, and sadly, too much blood is being shed to just ignore what's going on.
It's real. It's real. And if we think that that's somebody else's problem, you got a mayor that thinks that he's Pharaoh, and he thinks that he's the Lone Ranger. He's going to be the one to save us from us. Mm-hmm. But nobody can save us from us but us.
Exactly.
And no cavalry coming. And some of you Negroes who done sold out and done bought out and I got.
They might have upgraded, man. They might have upgraded.
They think they're better than us. But guess what? When it's all said and done, we gonna get more respect than you because they know we ain't scared of their behind. Cause I will put something in their behind. I plug their behind. I ain't scared of their behind. So I don't owe them nothing. I don't owe them nothing.
Say behind enough. So
I don't behind enough. I'm behind. I got enough behind that I'm behind. But let me tell you something. I just want to let you know we Cap and I are God-fearing people. We're for the right. We're not trying to save the world. We just trying to take care of business and let you know that we're not asking nobody to do nothing that we won't do ourselves. Because you got to be able to be ready to make a difference. And we will, and we shall make a difference.
I mean, absolutely. And again, you cannot call yourself a civilized society when women are attacked in the streets on a daily basis by mobs of children, and there is no urgency. There is no urgency from the powers that be. Now the community is concerned, and the community is organizing. The community is organizing for ways to better protect itself. It's also organizing for ways to reach these children. But first, the violence has to stop.
Yeah.
Everything hinges upon the assault stopping, and that is something that the community plays an integral part in. You cannot say that you live in a progressive society, an advanced society, a society with traditional values. You notice I'm touching the whole political spectrum. If you do not acknowledge the problems. And folks, we have a caller on line 1. Welcome to Hostages That Fight Back.
What's up, fellas? It's 2.0, a.k.a. Bank Boy Respect, a.k.a. Derek Jones. What's happening, fellas? Hostages, what's going on?
Another day in the grind.
We grinding, baby, like we supposed to. Look, I got a message for all the 80s babies, mid-70s babies, on up. This is my message to y'all. Killer BS. Stop the BS. Stop BSing yourself. Stop BSing the community. Stop BSing everybody out here trying to do stuff.
Stop killing our babies. Stop killing our babies.
This would then if you say, well, what you mean, recite? This what I mean. We keep upholding this nonsense in our community. I'm talking to all the men. Chill out with all that, bro. These people out here trying to do a job, and don't nobody won't cooperate with these people because we too busy sticking to the G code. Y'all been brainwashed. We our own worst enemy. We like the New Orleans Saints right now. Keep looking our own way.
Yes, indeed.
It's our fault. Babies dying. It's our fault. The woman being robbed. It's our fault. everything that's happening to us is our fault. I don't want to hear nothing about no Jim Crow syndrome. I don't want to hear nothing about no racism.
Go ahead, bro.
Straight up. Y'all, I ain't going to say
Usism.
we tolerate too much.
Usism.
We tolerate too much BS. Now, this is what I mean about that. We know who killing who. We know who robbing who. We know who's doing what in the community. And we refuse to say anything about it.
Ouch.
That's our fundamental problem.
I mean, the
We
same
uphold the
kids.
gene code. And look, Brother Mims is generation from 75 on up. 1975 on up. Generation after generation.
Okay.
And now it's 2016, and we teaching our youth not to talk to the police.
Yes, indeed.
We teaching our youth not to cooperate with what's going on.
Come on, bro.
Us as men, we got to stop that, bro.
Yes,
when we see them little dudes riding around the neighborhood with guns in the car, we need to call the proper authorities.
That's right.
You get wind about who shot who, you need to call the proper authorities. It's our responsibility as men to kill this cycle. And if we don't want to kill it, then we doomed. We're going to continue to have all the stuff that's going on throughout this country. All the hate, all the racism is being fueled because of us. We are our number one problem.
And
so if we change our mentality, we are going to be in the position we always going to be in, bro.
2.0.
And unfortunately, it's new.
2 point, you telling the truth. It is going to get worse if these mothers, and I see it all the time. I tell Cap in my neighborhood, these mothers treating these boys like they're men and expecting them to be the expecting these boys to be the breadwinners, and these boys want to be praised and things, and their mamas and them, and when something happened, oh my child, my baby, he didn't know nothing better. See, bro, that dog ain't gonna bark, bro.
I ain't gonna take up too much. I don't want to take up too much time, Brother Mill. But we need to take a page out of the white folks' book.
Come on.
White people do not tolerate that in their community. They don't want to see drugs being sold in their community. They don't want to see people carrying illegal guns in their community. These people are quick to call the police, and if the police don't respond, they hold the police accountable for not responding. We need to do the same thing. We need to start calling the police on people riding around our neighborhoods, terrorizing our neighborhoods, and stop turning a blind eye to it.
As a matter of fact,
2.0, we're going to be all right.
Just notice that we got somebody. Yeah, we got somebody trying to call in, so I need you to please.
I'm going, fellas.
Thank you very much.
I love you much, bro.
You see how quickly 2.0, super producer, and the overlord of the West Bank can move. Yeah, I've been in conversation online while we've been talking with someone who is intricately involved in these issues, and hopefully she will call in shortly. But folks, we have got to mobilize. We have got to unite. We have got to be active.
We got to be strategists, too.
Because the other side is very organized. Today, probably somewhere, somebody is going to encounter this negative organization.
I'll be concerned, Cap, about my family, bro. My grandchildren, my daughters, my wife, and my son. You know what I'm saying? My friends, my boy, you, bro, myself. You know, bro. We can do better.
This is true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce a short woman with a tall impact. She is the co-owner of Pop City Fun Rocking, which you can find on Magazine Street and in the French Market. She is Rhonda Finley. Welcome to Hostages That Fight Back.
I am so honored to be talking to you, Cap. You have been an incredibly strong voice for safety and crime, and anybody that's crossed your path know how devoted you are to your community and everyone around you. And I just, thank you for the kind words, but really, you've done some incredible work in our community and often unheralded, so I just want to give you a big thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Very briefly, we know that there's a crime wave hitting what I call the targeted Marigny, Suffering St. Rock, and battered Bywater areas. You attended a meeting yesterday where that came up. Could you briefly tell our listeners, because we have about 2 minutes we can give you?
Okay, so I'm going to answer that in a little bit of a circular way.
Sure.
Every police district here in New Orleans hosts a ComStat meeting and a MAX meeting. and I don't even know what MAX stands for, but the MAX meeting, for example, in the 8th District takes place on Tuesday at 2 p.m., and it's a staff meeting that the public is allowed to attend, and they go over the crime statistics.
Mm-hmm.
The CompStat meetings also take place in every district, also open to the public, and those are at 6 p.m., and I apologize for not knowing when the date of those, but it falls on a certain date of the month.
Gotcha.
Call the police district and find out. The public is welcome at the CompStat meetings. It's more of a format where the public can engage, and staff is there, lieutenants, sergeants, detectives, everyone in that policing district that touches on any community policing issues are available to talk. And I will tell you that even though sometimes citizens feel like their voices are not heard, I believe that our police officers are doing their job,
Mm-hmm.
and they are engaged. And for us to help them do their jobs, sometimes they don't do it as fast as we think they should, but for them to be able to do anything, we have to call in and report activity. It needs to go through the 911 system. Otherwise, it's not a logged call. So a simple act of calling in when you see shenanigans logs the activity, and it goes into the statistics. And there you go. Without that call, the police can't operate. They cannot operate on hearsay from 10 days ago. We all are grown up, and we all know it doesn't work like that.
All right. And Rhonda, I'm going to let Brother Mims, who's our #1 crime fighter and mentor, talk to you briefly, and then we're going to close this out.
Sister Rhonda, would you agree to call next week? We can give you more time for people to know what you do and talk about some solutions to some of the things that's going on in the community. Could you talk to us next week?
I would be so honored to help get the word out on how citizens can be involved and clarifying what our role in our community is as far as helping improve crime and safety. I would be so honored to talk about that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Rhonda. We're up against the clock. Thank you very much for calling. Again, that's Rhonda Finley, co-owner of Fun City, Pop City, and Fun Rockin'. I screwed it up. Pop City and Fun Rockin'.
Too much on your mind, Rhonda.
On magazine and in the French market. Brother Mims, I want you to close us out as you usually do with a short Presbyterian, Lutheran, or Episcopalian prayer.
Father God, we just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Folks, as I always tell you, treat each other well, or at least pretend that you can. We are out.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause, I'm low in my level. The hard rhymer, where you never been, I'm in. You want styling, you know it's time again. The enemy, telling you to hear it. They praise my music, this time they play my lyrics. Some say no to my album, the show, boom.